So a lot of you guys have been asking me about this rich versus poor thing. Alright? And we're in the process of becoming extremely wealthy. Rich is not the goal. Wealthy is the goal. And one of the things that I learned is that the way a rich person thinks versus the way a poor person thinks is completely different. 100% different. Alright? We're going to go through that a little bit today in this video. And a lot of you guys have been asking me to make this video. Listen, the only reason why I make this video is to share my successes, share my thought process on how I became, for how I was 19, making literally very little money, less than 10 grand a year, to where I'm at today at 25, making over 6 figures, and literally going to hit my 7 figures by next year. How am I going to do that, right? I was thinking about it since I was 7 figures. And a lot of you haters out there, man, I'd appreciate this, man, I like this, but that's okay because I got a whole list of you guys, right? And there's a sign-in sheet when you walk into my office. But one thing I want to explain to you guys is success is not just going to float around and attack you, all right? Success is a planned event, okay? And you plan for it by utilizing the one thing that God gifted you with, is your brain, okay? Now I'm going to talk about what rich people say, what poor people say, the rich mindset versus the poor mindset, okay? Now, number one, a rich person understands that success is an obligation, okay? You have to understand it's your duty to become successful, not the government's duty, right? Not your parents' duty, not your cousin's duty, not your brother's duty, not your wife's duty, not your husband's duty. It's your duty, okay? And a lot of times, if you think that it's going to be floating around and it's going to attack you, you're going to create success with that, you're out of your mind. You're nuts. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's a planned event. It's on purpose, okay? Success for a poor person, you know what they say? What poor people say? Success is evil. You can't think like that. If you don't understand it's a planned event, you're never going to accomplish that goal. You're never going to accomplish success because you think it's evil. You think that only rich people are evil. And that's the negative mindset. So, number one, success is an obligation, which is what rich people think, right? Number two, they learn how to invest money. Poor people spend money. Rich people invest money. And the first thing you need to invest in is yourself. That's number one. You need to invest into yourself. Books, audios, CDs, right? Seminars, conferences, association with the right positive environment. And you invest into yourself and then invest into your businesses later on. Poor people, they spend money. They go out on weekends, they go have fun, they spend on stupid things all the time. They buy clothes, they buy things for their friends. I mean, they spend money. There's no ROI on that, okay? So, rich people also understand that debt is a good thing. There's good debt and there's bad debt. The good debt is debt for investments. The bad debt is debt for spending. And a lot of people think that just because they have credit card debt, that they're going to succeed. You have to get out of that negative in order to succeed. If you don't have at least $1,000 in your pocket right now, then you're doing something wrong. If you don't have at least 50 grand in your pocket, then you need to work towards that goal. I tell all the time, my guys, don't think about doing anything when it comes to business until you get 100 grand in your pocket. When you get 100 grand in the bank account, that's when you can start thinking about investing in businesses. Okay? That's when you can think of pushing forward to expand your dreams and your goals. Because if you don't know how to at least get 100K for your investments, you're never going to make it. And some of you guys may think, how do I get 100K? Well, you need to get out of where you're at right now. If you're in a job that's not giving you that potential to at least save up a little bit of money, you're in the wrong place. You need to start thinking a little bit different. Start expanding your thinking, right? Now, a rich person has a financial game plan. A poor person just waits for things to happen to them. They have no plan. Absolutely. They have a budget. I don't know who in the world invented a budget. Budgets are for broke people. Okay? You have to have a financial plan. You need to understand, okay, I need to get 100K in the bank. I need to make this amount of money. You need to do the math and break it down for yourself and say, I need to break this. If you're working in sales, and you know it takes 5 sales to make $1,000, you need to work your way on saying, okay, if I make 10 sales this week, I'll make 2 grand. If I make 10 sales a week, that's 2 a day if I'm working 5 days a week, I'll make 100 grand a year. You got to understand taxes, then you understand how much you got to put in the bank, how much you can put into your spending. You have to understand where you're going. You have to have a financial plan. Budgets mean nothing. Because I promise you, everybody goes over their budget. Everybody. You probably over your budget this month on spending food. When you go to Costco, you say, I'm going to spend $2. What happens? You don't spend 200 bucks, you spend 400. Impulse shopping, oh my God. So you need to have a financial plan. And your thinking is not going to create a financial plan for you. You need to sit down with someone that's created success, and they're going to be willing to help you out. Well, sometimes people ask me, well, Mike, what if I don't have any friends that are rich? Start hanging out with different people. Oh, I don't know where to go. You don't need to look anywhere. Go online, look for networking events, go find people, go shake some hands. Yesterday, I'm looking into real estate investment. You know what I did yesterday? I was talking to a guy who owns a whole block in Maspeth. I was like, oh, you own a couple properties here. I started asking questions for an hour. And so I apologized on wasting time. He's like, honestly, you're one of the very few that ask me questions about a real estate investment. I was like, listen, because I want to start investing. So I'm going to ask who? A person that's invested. Now, I'm not going to listen to everything he said. Why? Because his goals are too small. He only wants one block. I don't want a block. I want a fucking whole town. That's me. That's where I want to be. But that doesn't mean I can't learn from him. I learn what I take what I can get, learn from it, learn from other investors as well that have real estate. And guess what? Put it all together, compile my own experience, and then boom, kill it. You understand? That's what rich people do. They learn from other people's experiences. All right? They expand. They think of expansion. They think of growing. Poor people think of contracting, hoarding, taking in, keeping to themselves, being selfish. Right? I just started a new company a few months ago with my T-Mobile business. You guys already know that. And I tell all my agents, listen, the more money you make, the more money I make, right? So if I make money, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw out big bonuses. Like for a month of September, we had a goal to hit. The team hit the goal, and guess what? We're all going to Six Flags on the company's expense. For October, I said, whoever's the top agent for a certain goal that we hit, top 2 agents, I'm taking it to Miami. All expenses paid. Outside of the stick of gum they buy. Alright? Why? Because I know for a fact that expansion is the goal, not contraction. Does that make sense? Another thing rich people do is they make things happen. Poor people, they wait for things to happen. You gotta make things happen. No one's gonna do this for you. Listen, I grew up in a poor family house. Let me tell you something about my dad. My dad, as a young kid, was asking different charities, different things to put me through private school. I remember as a kid, my dad, as an immigrant, asking other people for money to put me through private school. Different organizations on phone calls all day looking for money to put me through private school. For 13 years I spent in my life I was in private school. Now, was it the best thing since sliced bread? I'm not sure, because I went to like 9 schools my entire life because I drove the teachers crazy. You can tell why. But one thing I do know is that my father had to struggle because he was a doctor in this country, came to this country, he lost everything. And guess what? He had to start from scratch. So guess what? I want to make sure that my financial future is taken care of, and I'm the one responsible for it. It's my duty, it's my obligation. It's no one's obligation but mine. Alright? Now, poor people, they refuse to study, they refuse to grow. Rich people, they study, they learn, they grow. They make things happen with the education they got. They're responsible. Rich people are responsible. Poor people blame other people. I'll give you an example. If right now you got into a car accident, whose fault is it? 50% of the people, actually close to 80% of the people will say, well, it depends. Who hit you? It was your fault. No. It's always your fault. If I get into an accident right now, it's my fault. Whether you hit me from the back or not, whether I was parked. If your car is parked outside and someone hits it, it's your responsibility. Why would I blame the guy? It's my fault. I should have never parked spot. If I would have parked 2 cars down, I would have never got hit. Whose fault is that? My fault. I should have never parked in that spot. Now, did I know it was going to happen? Absolutely not. But who's to blame? Me. No one else. Me. Rich people are responsible. When you take ownership and responsibility, you feel better and you feel more in control. You actually can accomplish success. You can accomplish the goals you want to accomplish. While poor people blame everybody else and they're pointing fingers at everybody, and guess what? 3 fingers are pointing back at them, and they don't realize that it's up to them. It's up to you. It's up to us to make our decisions. It's up to us to change our future, right? Also, rich people focus on the future. Poor people pay attention to the past. When you drive, I highly that you guys drive like this, looking in the back, looking to the rear view mirror. No, man, you're looking forward. You're looking, oh, I got one of my guys here. Oh, what's going on, buddy? Poor people, they look into the past and they start analyzing. Oh my God, what happened? Listen, your rear view mirror is small for a reason. You have a front windshield, right? The windshield wiper, right? It's for your future. You need to look at your future with a huge view of where you're trying to go. Not look back into the past and start nicking and backing and holding yourself back from success. Okay? Poor people think in problems. Successful people think in solutions. Now every problem has a solution, but poor people complain about it. By creating problems, there's going to be problems all the time, but don't think in problem, thinking, okay, there's a problem here, how do I solve this? Think in solutions, right? Rich people buy time, poor people waste time. Rich people buy time, poor people waste time. Right now I'm sitting in this chair, I'm making money. How? Not because I'm special, because I learned to OPT and OPM, leverage other people's time and other people's money. And that's what you need to get good at. If you waste time, it's not going to get you anywhere. Okay? Actually, another segment to that is rich focus on multiple flows of income. Poor people focus on one flow, your job or your business. I want to have multiple flows, but remember, you can't do everything at once. You focus on one flow, you secure it, you let it grow without you. Boom, you focus on the second flow, you kill it, you secure it, you focus on the third flow, and that's how you get successful. You don't become successful in one flow. You don't do that. When you go apply for a job, you apply to one location? No, you apply to 20. Why? Spread your options. Same thing with income. If one of your business fails, one of your jobs fails, what's going to happen? If right now you lose your income, what will happen to your financial future? What will happen next month? A lot of people don't even have savings to cover their butts for 1 month. A lot of people don't even have $1,000 in a bank account. If you don't have at least $1,000 in your bank account, you're doing something wrong. If you don't have at least a cushion for yourself, what are you doing? I understand if you're 18, 19, 20, but if you're in your late 20s or late 30s or early 30s and you don't have money in the bank and you don't have any business, you're doing something different. If you want to become rich, you got to change the way you think. It all comes down to the way you think, right? Successful people, rich people are net worth driven. Poor people are income driven. You want to focus on your net worth. Mark Zuckerberg is not worried about income. Not today. Right? The new thing that came out on Facebook, the marketplace, he's focused on net worth, man. He's trying to be #1 in the world. Rich people pay themselves first. Poor people pay others first. What do I mean by that, pay yourself first? When I get my paycheck for any business, the first thing I do is I say, okay, how do I put it back into my business? How do I put it back into my agents? How do I put it back into my company, into myself, buy some books, buy some things that are going to help me get to a better place? Poor people, you know what they do? They pay other people first. They go spend it on Friday night. They make the clubs rich. They make all the other people rich. All the vacation spots, all the resorts, instead of paying themselves first, they're paying everybody first. And then they're like, you know what, I got $100 left to go buy a book or an audio or a seminar. That's not the way you grow, my friend. Rich people are goal-driven. Poor people are work-driven. Now, I'm not saying don't work hard. You got to work hard, you got to work smart. But you have to be goal-driven. You have to be focused. You have to be driven. You have to be so zoned in that your friends and your family that you have right now think you're crazy. I want everyone to call me Crazy Mike. I love it. Because if you're not calling me crazy, then I'm doing the average thing. I don't want to be a poor person. I want to be extremely wealthy. And in order to be wealthy, you got to change the way you think. And hopefully this can help you understand the difference between a rich mindset and a poor mindset, because it all boils down to one thing, your thought process. And if you start changing the way you think, success is going to chase you like no other thing has ever chased you before. You will feel great in the morning. You will, listen, when I wake up, the devil is afraid of my feet stepping on that ground. Because when I get up, man, he knows I'm up. He don't mess with me. And that's the way you need to feel about your life. You need to be productive. You need to be proactive with your future. You need to run towards your goals and your dreams. And one day, you'll be wealthy. Enjoy, guys. Hopefully this helped. Any other videos, shoot me a direct message.